I forget what day it is today. I think it's Thursday, July 23rd, 24th, can't remember, 2026. Great Gorge Trail intersection, and this is the Great Allegheny Passage Trail. Going back that way is Connellsville, Pennsylvania, Great Gorge. That will take you to Cucumber Falls. We're inside Ohiopyle State Park, and I've just stopped here, and I'm going to, it's 12 noon, and I'm gonna walk across High Bridge. Hello, hello. This is the trains, the old train track trestle to Great Allegheny Passage High Bridge. I think it's about 120 feet off the water. In other words, and it's not deep enough to jump off, of course. It would be dangerous and you would hurt yourself badly. The water's just too shallow down there. Okay, this rapid's right up ahead. That is the railroad's rapids. And of course that's fitting, this is a railroad bridge. Going back that way, if you kept walking along the river shore all the way, you'd get into Maryland. The Youghiogheny River comes to this point from Maryland. Hello people, isn't that great? And so anyways, yeah, so you go to Maryland, and if you go this way, this river goes to the Youghiogheny, meets a little suburb of Pittsburgh called Boston. It's got a name of Boston. At Boston, the Youghiogheny River will flow into the Monongahela River, and then the Monongahela River meets the Allegheny River at the point of Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Point is like the little Manhattan Point where the, you know, like in Manhattan, the Hudson River goes around Manhattan or whatever, East River and whatever they call that, meets up with the Hudson. Well, this Youghiogheny River right here, it meets up with the Monongahela, and then the Monongahela meets up with the Allegheny and forms the point at Pittsburgh. And then the Pittsburgh, that's where the Ohio River begins, and it goes all the way down to past Indiana and Kentucky, and eventually hits the Mississippi River. I don't know, I forget, I'll have to look that up again, where it meets there. Anyways, it's always beautiful. These have these incredible large boulders along the shoreline. Years ago, I thought I would just hike the whole shoreline, but it's extremely difficult shoreline hiking along these major boulders, and it's just straight debris. I do most of my river shore hiking along the Youghiogheny River here, where it's just so beautiful with all these great rocks, and the river's not too scary looking during the winter. And then you avoid the snakes, which are down there amongst the boulders, which you can't see. There's, you know, if you hike long enough, you're going to run into snakes. You'll see them. The first couple of years I never saw them, and then I started to see them, and then I got scared for a couple of years, and now I've sort of over being scared by them, but I still don't hike in the summer along the river shore. Plus it takes a lot of energy. It's a lot more strenuous to hike along the river shore. You're constantly changing your everything as you move down through the foliage, over the boulders. Everything's slippery, you know. See these stick debris piles along the river? I used to just avoid those entirely. You find out that in the summer sometimes the snakes will burrow into them and hang out in them, sometimes even sit on top of them. And then interestingly, over the years, I was wondering, some of the sticks that you find in these stick piles, you pull them out and they are like almost perfect walking sticks. The outer bark has been cut off, and you wonder, God, who peeled these off? And then the ends are nicely pointed and everything. And I was watching some YouTube videos, and then I found out that those sticks in those piles, a lot of them are beaver debris, beaver sticks, which are the small shoots of the trees which are along the shoreline. As you can see, there's tons and tons of little growing baby trees. The beavers will come along here, they'll scoot up the edges, they'll chop down these little tree shoots, they eat off the outer bark, and they chop them up in lengths. Sometimes the lengths are the perfect size of walking sticks. So therefore, if you do ever become a river shore hiker and you're going along the river shore and you see these piles of debris, always glance through them for these perfectly sized, perfectly beaver cut walking sticks. And I don't think, if you've gotten up to the level of hiking along the river shore, don't worry, you know, you're not, I don't believe it's a crime against nature to snatch a piece of beaver trash stick if you do. Anyways, this is High Bridge. This is a little bit more details than you probably get from anybody who comes here to High Bridge. Okay, entrance rapids. So the next rapids up is called Dartmouth Rapids. People don't realize this, but Dartmouth Rapids is where the famous Ohiopyle ear boulder is. I'm trying to popularize the ear boulder, and it is really a unique boulder that I've ever seen in the whole park, because it's a big 25-foot long boulder, 12 feet tall, and it's got an ear on it. So that's what makes it so unique. The river has carved an ear on the boulder, which I call the ear boulder, Dartmouth Rapids, and the river is coming from Maryland, coming towards us from Maryland. We're in southern western Pennsylvania. Youghiogheny River, High Bridge at Ohiopyle State Park, and it's incredibly beautiful all the year. Today I think the river's between 2 and 3 feet, perfect for perfect temperature as well, not too over hot today. It's only going to get up to about 80 degrees, so it's a great day to come do kayaking here too. There's four major kayaking and bicycle rental businesses in Ohiopyle City, which is just upriver. And from here going upriver are the 6 or 7, depending on how you count them, rapids, which you navigate through with your kayak or rubber raft. You can, if you're a total beginner, just take a guided rubber raft tour with one of the 4 companies. There's also a company that does photography, and they have photographers stationed at some of the rapids. The famous Ohiopyle photographer Mike hangs out at the Cucumber Rapids boulder field, my favorite boulder field. But for incredible, unique, one-of-a-kind in all the park boulders, the Dartmouth Rapids ear boulder, the Dartmouth Rapids cave boulder, the Dartmouth Rapids G boulder, I call it, because when you're looking down on the boulder from the top, it's a pothole that's carved all the way down through the center of the boulder down to the river, and it forms the letter G looking down on the boulder from the top. So that's the G boulder. That's the most incredible boulder. There's just a number of astounding, beautifully carved boulders at the Dartmouth Rapids. This is entrance rapids. The next rapids upriver is Dartmouth Rapids. And as you can see, the river shore looks a little bit, it is a little bit more, it's very challenging, but it's still hikeable on that side. That side over there, that whole green area, that side of the river is the Ferncliff Peninsula. Everything over there, everything there, going that way, back upriver is considered the Ferncliff Peninsula, which is a plot of land that was donated by I think the Stanley Kaufman of the Kaufman's department store in Pittsburgh, and together with other donations. And when you go visit some of the 4 highlights of the park, you see the other donors who donated the land so that everybody could enjoy this incredible beauty. And so that's just a little bit of insider info regarding the Ohiopyle State Park. And I'm standing on what I call the number 4, because this is very easily reached. Old people, you can come right here from any of the parking lots going that way back towards Ohiopyle City, There's lots of major parking lots there, and you just walk from there right to here. Real straight path, like the old European older people walking trails. Perfect to get here, and then you can enjoy this. And if you ever see this video, you can educate yourself further about what you see, what I'm telling you, what you see from where I'm standing right this moment on this beautiful day in late July 2026.